Krishna Priya, is it streaming? Yes. So this meeting is streamed on YouTube also. Okay, so let's do some quick revision so that we are all in tune with what we are discussing. So what did we cover last week in terms of introduction? Any quick points? Anything you remember in the introduction, not in chapter 1? No? Blank totally?
Yes, Prabhuji. We discussed about what is Bhagavad Gita. We discussed
Very nice.
about how many shlokas are there in Bhagavad Gita
How many
and
shlokas? Yeah.
700 shlokas, and further we have the bifurcation of the shlokas to whom who have spoken about it, and also we discussed about 5 subject matters.
5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. Very
Yes,
nice.
yes,
Okay. Okay,
and
good. Yes.
also that why I'm suffering, or the point which we discussed, why I'm suffering, what will happen after the death
Very nice.
of mine, and
Three key questions. Very nice.
we
Three key
discussed,
questions we looked at. Yeah. Who am
uh,
I? Yeah.
and why I'm suffering, and where do I
Very
go after this life,
very
after
nice.
this
Who am
life.
I? Why am I suffering? And what is the best thing for me? And how will the suffering go away?
Yeah,
Yeah. Very
and
nice. Okay.
also we discussed about 3 ways of gaining the knowledge.
3 ways of gaining
Pratiksha,
knowledge. Very nice.
Pratiksha, Anumana, and Shabda Pramana.
Praman. Actually, no, the 3 ways
Pramana.
of gaining knowledge is something else. This is yeah. How? What are the pramans? Very nice.
Uh,
We saw about 3 pramans, Pratyaksha, Anumana, and Shabda. Yeah. And of the three, which one is recommended?
Shabda Pramana.
Shabda Praman. And in what mechanism?
From
Through,
the
through,
spiritual bona fide, through bona fide spiritual master.
exactly. Through an
Is,
authorized person,
is
through an
uh,
authority, through an
yeah.
authority. Very nice, very nice. Now, through an authority is what we have to discuss. Very good, very good. Yeah, we also saw about how many total species are there in life in the world? 8.4 million different species. Yeah, and we go through the cycle of birth, old age, disease, and death. Yeah, we also saw we are a bit different from animals. How are we different from animals?
We can ask the question.
You can ask the question why. Yes,
Use
very
it,
good.
yeah.
Also, something else.
We can
Something
reason
else.
and discriminate.
Yes, we can reason and discriminate. Very good. We can reason and discriminate. We have higher consciousness. We have higher sentience, higher intelligence. Because the 4 types of activities animals do and we also do. What are those four types of activities which everybody does?
Eating, mating, sleeping, and defending.
Very nice. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These are the 4 things that do animals do, humans also do. Yeah. And therefore, if we have higher intelligence, we have to understand that we have been doing this 4 types of activities for time immemorial, from previous janmas, from every time. And this janma, this human form of life, is for us to comprehend why are we going in the cycle of birth, old age, disease, and death again and again and again. Very good. Yeah. So that was the basis of the entire reasoning why all of these scriptures are there. We also saw a very nice analogy, I think made quite famous, that we've got this body. The body is like a machine. But the machine, where is the manual for the machine? We can see that on the screen. The manual for the machine is the Bhagavad Gita as it is, which helps us to understand how to make use of this body, yeah, how to make use of the facilities that we have so that we can come out of this cycle of birth, old age, disease, and death. That is the most important reason for studying the scriptures, to get to know the purpose of our life, get to know the purpose. Yeah, Shamila Mataji, go ahead.
Sorry, Guruji, I just wanted to ask you, sorry to intervene in between.
No
When
problem.
somebody dies in a family, can we read Bhagavad Gita or can we do?
Yes. Yes, in fact, the 8th chapter is read continuously. Yeah, as part of the this thing, Parayan. So 8th chapter is called Attaining the Supreme. So we continuously keep on reading the 8th chapter as part of the morning period.
Okay, but
Yeah.
can we do any prayers or like do a regular because somebody passed away in my family in India. So I was
Is it?
I was told don't light any, like don't do any
Uh,
prayers, don't do. So I am just trying to understand like how, like I'm feeling disturbed that I cannot do this, but I
No,
just
no,
wanted
no.
to.
Bhagavad Gita can be read. In fact, Bhagavad Gita can be read and should be read during, in fact, the morning period. But what is not mentioned is to go inside a temple, do temple and deity puja and all of that. There is a concept of sutak that gets
Yes,
applied. So for that, you shouldn't be doing. But doing your japa, there is no excuse for not doing japa. Yeah.
yeah,
So
that's
even death of the only your our own death is the only excuse for not doing japa. In this, even there, we should have consciousness such that our mind is always doing japa. Yeah, but doing japa, reading Bhagavad Gita is not a problem. Maybe you might not want everything is electronic now, so you can still keep everything on mobile. Yeah, maybe you might not want to touch the books which are kept in as part of your altar or whatever. So those need not, the altar need not be touched, and all of those things is fine, is not to be
it.
done. Or
So
going to the temple is not to be done.
you don't like do any puja at home, like your
Typically, we
regular
don't do
prayers.
for 2 3
Don't.
days. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
and
because I was.
depends on how close that person was. It like father,
It's
mother,
my yeah. It's
close,
no. It's
brother?
my husband's uncle who was in
Okay.
Udupi. Like he was very sick for a long time, and he just
Hmm.
passed away. So I'm just trying to understand like why we
Yeah,
as
so the
family
very
members we should.
close family generally does not do. They get something called a sutak, wherein it is a kind of a impure period. So therefore, you don't go. But chanting has to be done, and Bhagavad Gita can be read. Not a problem.
Oh,
Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam can be read.
thank
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yes, we saw so many things. We also saw chapter one. We commenced with chapter one. What is the name of the chapter?
सैन्य निरीक्षण.
Sainya Nirikshan, very nice. Observing the armies of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Yeah, and we saw introduction of two characters. Who two we saw was sitting there on the left side?
धृतराष्ट्र and Sanjaya.
Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya, they are discussing, they are conversing. Yeah, and what is the conversation that they are having? What was the first question that Dhritarashtra is asking?
What are my sons and the Pandavas on the battlefield of Kurukshetra?
Exactly. What are they doing? Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Sanjaya, oh Sanjaya, what are these guys doing? Who are these guys? My sons and them, they. They means the Pandavas. What are they doing? Clearly showing he is seeing them as two different sides. Yeah. So, yeah, I think this is one thing we should do, the Mangalacharan. Let's try and do this. This is a very nice prayer that we do before we start Bhagavad Gita discussions. You can listen, you can try to read, which is on the screen. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Sacha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitam Sacha Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Deen Bandho, Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika, Kanta, Radha, Kanta, Namostute, Tapta Kanchana, Gaurangi, Radhe, Vrindavaneshwari, Rishabhanusute Devi, Pranamami, Hari Priye, Vancha Kalpatarayubhyascha, Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's a good prayer. Actually, all our kids, when we do even the children's class, all the kids know this particular prayer, the prayer for, we call it the opening prayers. Okay. So we have seen, yeah, we saw the Kuru family, I was saying, me and mine, the Dhritarashtra talking about, my sons, Duryodhana and all of those people, and them as in the Pandavas. And we see the complicated Kuru family, Kauravas. In fact, the Pandavas are also called as Kurus only. Yeah, but here in this particular case, Dhritarashtra is owning up to that title, saying that I am Kauravas. So he is saying me and mine. We also saw, yeah, the three divisions overall of Bhagavad Gita. First part discussing Karma Yoga, second part discussing the Bhakti Yoga, and last part discussing Jnana Yoga. Of course, all three dovetail to Bhakti Yoga and when we read the purports, and that is what we will see as we progress. Yeah. Okay, what else did we, so we saw, okay, all of this is fine. This is the one which even Aruna Mataji was saying, 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita, 574 spoken by Lord Krishna. This is a nice slide. 82% of the Bhagavad Gita is actually spoken by Lord Krishna. Arjuna speaks 12%, 84 verses. These are largely questions, why this, why that. And then Sanjaya speaks 41 verses, nice big chunk. And of course, Dhritarashtra's verse we've seen last time, verse number 1, which is, what are my sons and their sons doing? Yeah. So there is a nice overall, I was telling you, there is a first chapter, there is a nice overall, it's largely based of two sections. First, we've seen for some portions of the first section. Section A, which is the preparations of the war, various introductions are there, this family, that person, this warrior. The second portion of the Bhagavad Gita, largely of this chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, largely talks about Arjuna's doubts. Arjuna does not want to fight, so his doubts are being described here, will be described here in this. Overall, if you see, introduction within the introduction, the breakup is like preparation of war, signs of victory. We discuss signs of victory, isn't it? Some signs of victory that you remember.
The battle is happening on the Kurukshetra, which itself represents the Dharma Kshetra, because
Very
Lord
nice.
himself is present over there.
Very
So,
nice. Lord is present there, yeah.
And if Lord is there, that means Goddess of Fortune is also present over there, which is the second sign.
Second sign of victory. Something else?
And third one, we saw that Duryodhana is telling to his guru, Dronacharya, that do not show any leniency towards the Pandavas, because he knew that they are very near towards his heart.
Yeah. So, no, also he says that all of these people are ready to lay down their lives for me, which means he's thinking they are already going to die, isn't it? Like that. Good. So we will see, we will discuss more about the signs of victory. Yeah, and third section of the first part of this first chapter talks also about Krishna as Bhakta Vatsala. How fantastic Krishna is. So a bit of a discussion on Krishna as Bhakta Vatsala is there. Second part talks about 5 reasons of Arjuna not to fight. We will see those 5 reasons as we progress in our sessions today. So that's how the overall breakup of the first chapter is, what we are discussing in this particular part. Okay, yeah. So yes, Dhritarashtra inquiring from Sanjaya, what did they do? What are they doing? And Sanjaya, how come Sanjaya has this power? Anybody knows? Sanjaya has this yogic power where he can actually transplant himself, his eyes or whatever his vision, to
Vyasadeva
wherever.
was given benediction to.
Very nice. Vyasadeva has given him benediction. Yeah, Sanjaya is a great yogi. Yeah, and because he's a great yogi, he has this power to. We also discussed a little bit about how to study Bhagavad Gita. What should be our outlook of studying Bhagavad Gita? What should be our attitude of studying Bhagavad Gita? What do you think? Anybody? How to discuss how to study Bhagavad Gita? What should be our attitude? What should be our...
The Guru.
Towards Guru. Totally surrender.
Sorry, I missed that. Wait. Shamila Mataji, go ahead.
With the help of a Guru.
With the help of a Guru. Very nice. Indu Mataji, go ahead.
We should be totally surrendered towards our Guru.
Very nice. Okay. Surrender to Guru, help of our Guru. Very good. Something else?
The one who is the devotee of Lord Krishna.
Very nice. We have to read from and discuss and understand from one who is a devotee of Lord Krishna, and therefore we are reading Bhagavad Gita as it is from Srila Prabhupada. We are trying to understand from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada comes from the disciplic succession. We've looked at the disciplic succession and we said, yes, this book looks authorized. Yeah. So that's that's one of the most important, because there is no personally motivated interpretations. We should not be having any motivations to interpret the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, Aruna Mataji, go ahead.
Prabhuji, I have a question just for my understanding. Why Sanjaya got the mercy of Vyasadeva?
He is a soul. He is a spirit. He is a there is some backstory, if I remember correctly. He is also one of the Dasi Putras, and he does some service to Vyasadeva. Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe I'll have to read Mahabharata again, but there is a backstory there. Yeah, but there is definitely some connection. So he becomes a disciple of Vyasadeva. If you remember, Vyasa comes to impregnate Ambika, Ambalika, and or one of those, I forgot now, all those queens, which is when Dhritarashtra and those are so there is some connection there. Yeah, maybe some of you can do some internet research, or maybe can put it on the group. Yeah, good question. How and why Sanjaya?
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, Prabhuji, I said Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Yeah. So that is how the and we also accept whatever Lord Krishna is saying as the supreme truth. Yeah, and therefore whatever is in the Bhagavad Gita, we say is the supreme truth, and we are going to accept it in that particular manner. So then we also discussed, Dhritarashtra's fears and doubts. What is his biggest doubt? His biggest doubt is Kurukshetra is a sacred place of pilgrimage. Yeah, and therefore what happens in a sacred place of pilgrimage? All the unpious people, it only helps the pious people, and Pandavas are very pious. So obviously there is going to be the benefit of the place towards the Pandavas. So he is like very scared. The outcome of the war will be towards the favor of the Pandavas, and therefore he is wanting to understand. He's trying to foretell. He's looking at the signs. Will my sons be victorious? Will the Pandavas be killed? That is what his entire thought process is towards asking this question. We also saw Dhritarashtra was like blind. Okay, not only physically blind, but also spiritually blind, because he clearly made the distinction. Even though they were his brother's sons only, still he considered them as enemies. Yeah. So obviously, he was worried that in Kurukshetra, which is unnecessary weeds are taken out, right, in a field, in a kshetra, in a field, unnecessary weeds are taken out, and he was thinking, oh, all these my sons who are like weeds will be taken out by Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, the farmer in the Kurukshetra. So he is like also a bit worried from that sense as to the field will have an effect or not. Yeah, then verse 2, we saw Sanjaya talking. Sanjaya starts that Duryodhana is approaching Dronacharya. Yeah, and what is he saying to Dronacharya? Yeah, he is saying how nicely the formation of the warrior, the opposite side is. And who has done the formation of in the Pandavas side? The formation, military formation?
Drupad Putrena.
Drupada Putrena, yeah. So he is trying to, kind of edge his commander in chief Dronacharya. That see that enemy, that person, you have his son, you have trained. That same person is now making the formation of the battle, and he's pointing out the mistake, saying that this particular, you've taught him all these military arts, yeah, and all of these, now look at this military art that you taught him is coming back to bite you now. And that is the kind of and he also wants to ensure the say you don't do this leniency. Second thing, he also talks about the leniency towards the Pandavas. So many things we saw in verse number 3. Verse number 4, Duryodhana is describing the opposing army. What names did we see? Who remembers?
Prabhuji, Bhima, Arjuna, Yuyudhana, Virata,
Yes.
and Drupada.
And
And
Drupada.
Drishtaketu, then further, in next verse, Drishtaketu, Chekistana, Chekitana, Kashiraja, Purujit, and Kunti Bhoja, and Serbia.
Shaibya, very nice. Yeah, so all of them, yeah, we see fourth, fifth, and sixth verses. These are the different sets of people. I hope you've taken notes on all of this. These sets of it, just for our own interesting knowledge. That's all. All of these are the side of the Pandavas. There is this nice slide as to how many number of people were there in the overall war. So there is the thought is there is some total of 18 Akshahunis. And one Akshahuni consists of 21,870 chariots, same number of elephants, double or triple that of horses, and 4 times that of foot soldiers. So that is how the overall one Akshahuni contains. And Pandavas had 7 Akshahunis, Kauravas had 11 Akshahunis. To begin with, the Drupada Putrena was Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna was the commander to begin with in the Pandava side. On the Kauravas, first it was Bhishma, then it became Drona, then Karna, then Shalya, and then Duryodhana. Yeah, so like that, they all took turns. They as people kept dying, all of these became yeah. Then different Maharathis, they were there, Athirathis, and all of those different types of warriors. Some more details here. I'll share the slide. You can have a look. This was the total number of people. It was almost like a world war. Everybody had come in to fight here. These many number of people had come to fight in the war. So now Duryodhana, we saw 2 shlokas where Duryodhana, 3 shlokas rather, where Duryodhana describes his own warriors. Who was there on the warrior on the side of Duryodhana?
Karna, Bhishma, Dronacharya, and then Duryodhana itself.
Yeah, Duryodhana. And then the 9th verse, we saw in our last class, he says that many powerful warriors are ready to lay down their lives for me. Yeah, so Duryodhana is now he's thinking, oh, all these people are going to die, which is also shown as one of the signs of victory towards the Pandavas, because all these powerful warriors are going to die there. Yeah, Dronacharya, Bhishma, Karna, Kripacharya, Ashwathama, Vikarna, Saumadatti, Jayadratha, Kritavarma, Shalya, and others. So many of these people which are going to die on the side of Dronacharya. Okay, so now let's look at in today's verse, Dronacharya, Duryodhana doing, sorry, not Dronacharya, Duryodhana doing the comparative assessment and concluding his particular set of introduction. Yeah, so let's go to verse number 10 in this particular chapter. Observing the armies, verse number 10. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what he says in the 10th verse. Yeah, Ashish Prabhuji wants to read.
Hare Krishna. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhismaభిరక్షితం पर्याप्तं त्विदमेतेषां balam bhīmāభిरक्षिతం.
Very nice. Yeah, translation.
Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas carefully protected by Bhima is limited.
So that's what he's concluding. That because grandfather Bhishma is on our side, yeah, we have in unlimited strength. And also he thinks the entire, he has 11 Akshahunis. Of that, some 3 came from the Dwarka, from Lord Krishna's army. So he thinks, oh, I am very strong. I am very, very strong. And whereas the Pandavas, they are limited. They are saying he is protected by Bhima. Our side is Bhishma. Obviously, they are 2 warriors who are not, comparable. Bhishma is much, much more stronger than Bhima. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada makes that point also, that Bhima is like a fig in the presence of Bhishma. That's what he thinks. He is thinking that Bhima will be overall the side of the Pandavas are not so strong, and on this side we are very strong. Let's read this purport. Go ahead, Prabhuji. Ashish Prabhuji can read the purport ahead.
Hare Krishna. Duryodhana, after praising the progress of Bhishma, further considered that other might think that they had been considered less important. So in his usual diploma.
No, here from the beginning. Sorry. Herein.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Herein an estimation of comparative strength is made by Duryodhana. He thinks that the strength of his armed force is immeasurable, being specifically protected by the most experienced general, grandfather Bhishma. On the other hand, the forces of Pandavas are limited, being protected by less experienced general Bhima, who is like a fig in the presence of Bhishma. Duryodhana was always envious of Bhima because he knew perfectly well that if he should die at all, he would only be killed by Bhima. But at the same time, he was confident of his victory on account of the presence of Bhishma, who was far superior general. His conclusion that he would come out of the battle victorious was well ascertained.
So, what is Duryodhana's conclusion? He is thinking that, oh, we are very strong and we are going to kill. So he is entering into the war with so much of overconfidence. He is thinking just by looking at all the people there, looking at all of this, looking at his own set of warriors, he's thinking, oh no, we are very strong than all of these people and we will definitely be victorious. Aparyaptam, that is the word that he uses. Aparyaptam is we are totally we are so much overpowered. We are so much overpowering the enemy. So that's how the thought process. So Duryodhana, when he's entering into the war, look at his confidence. And we will see in a moment how Arjuna's confidence is. Arjuna is the warrior on this side. He is thinking what is his thinking is. So Duryodhana is thinking, oh, all these are, we are very strong. We are going to kill them. We are going to be victorious. That is the thought process. And with that thought process, there is still some niggling doubt he has. And the niggling doubt he has is that he's thinking that, oh, Bhishma, he is very much, in favor of the Pandavas. I want him to ensure he is fully on our side. So therefore, let us see what he says in the 11th verse. Yeah, somebody else wants to try. Shamila Mataji, go ahead.
Krishna. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhava mastitataha Bashmiveva.
Yatha bhagam. Yatha
Did I miss it?
bhaga.
Yatha bhagam
Avastita.
avashtitataha.
Yes.
Bhishmam eva dhirakshantu bhavantah sarva eva hi.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Translation.
All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army.
So he is now addressing everybody, saying that all of you now, what do you have to do? You have to support Grandfather Bhishma. As they are, so they also have an army formation, and in that army formation, they have to ensure that they are now supporting Grandfather Bhishma, who is going to be the commander in chief. He's going to be the leader. He's the one who's going to be leading into the war. So there's one point here which Srila Prabhupada mentions. Says he is seeing all of this, but Dronacharya and Bhishma, they are slightly on the favor of the Pandavas. So he's kind of a bit worried on that. So that's what Srila Prabhupada mentions here. Let's read from here. He was confident.
He was confident of the full support of Bhishma Deva and Dronacharya in the battle, because he well knew that they did not even speak a word when Arjuna's wife Draupadi, in a helpless condition, had appealed to them for justice when she was being forced to appear naked in the presence of all the great generals in the assembly. Although he knew that the two generals had some sort of affection for the Pandavas, he hoped that these generals would now completely give it up, as they had done during the gambling performance.
So during the gambling performance, we remember, we know the story. Now Draupadi is being insulted, but the Dronacharya and Bhishma Dev, even though she is calling out for help to them, they have been silent and just witnesses to that entire event. So the Kaurava side, the Duryodhana side is kind of confident that they will definitely be, even though they might not be very much fully onto our side, but they will fully support us. So that is the thought process that Duryodhana is having when he's telling all of his warriors to support Bhishma. So Bhishma is ready to fight, Bhishma is ready to go, but Duryodhana is still a bit concerned. Maybe the old man needs a bit of protection, support. So he's telling all of these other people that you need to support Bhishma and ensure that he fights from our side. That is the other point he wants to. Why? Because there could be a chance that Bhishma might not be fully, on the side of the Kauravas. So therefore, he is also trying to ensure all the people are on the side of this. Okay. So then everything is ready, everything is set. And now the first thing that they do as part of any task is to blow the conches. So here, interestingly, the conches will start to blow. The war is about to start. Let's see how the description is in the 12th verse. Somebody else wants to try. Indu Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Tasya Sanjayana Harsham Kuru Vrida Pitamaha Simhanadam Vinandyochaye Shankam Dadhamo
Pratapavan. Shankau Dadmo Pratapavan. Nice translation.
Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy.
So now the war is about to start. Bhishma has blown the conch, and he blows it, so strongly that he wants to show that I am on the side of I'm on your side, Duryodhana. Don't worry. Look at the power that I am trying to bring in with this blowing of my conch shell. That's what Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport. Just read the purport quickly.
The grandson of the Kuru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of his grandson Duryodhana, and out of his natural compassion for him, he tried to cheer him by blowing his conch shell very loudly, befitting his position as a lion. Indirectly, by the symbolism of the conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle because the Supreme Lord Krishna was on the other side. But still, he was his duty to conduct the fight, and no pains would be spared in that connection. Hare Krishna.
So now that is what the understanding comes in from our acharyas, that even though Duryodhana is trying to cheer up everybody, he's trying to see, we can see already he is thinking there might be a problem in his army. But Bhishma is trying to cheer him up. He is saying, no problem, we will fight with all our might that we have, so that the other side of the army is defeated. But Bhishma himself he's a devotee of Lord Krishna, so he is already kind of almost thinking he is defeated. So when he is blowing the conch, Srila Prabhupada explains, when is the conch? Then when you start the puja, you do that, right? So he is blowing the conch more because he's seeing Krishna on the other side, and he is blowing it in his as a start of a puja. Now I'm going to anyway do this sacrifice. So let me think of Lord Krishna. So Bhishma's blowing of the conch is also like a mark of surrender towards Lord Krishna. Yeah, interesting analysis. Oops, 1 minute. Yeah. So let's look at, then obviously everybody else starts to blow their conch shells, and the whole noise was very, very tumultuous. That's the word that comes in. Let's read this verse. Yeah, somebody else can try. Sachin Prabhuji can try this.
Sure. Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. Hare Krishna, Sachin Prabhu.
Yeah, I'm on a mobile screen, so I'm trying to open it. Yeah, now I can see it.
Yeah.
Tatsaha
Yeah.
Tatasankhascha Hairyascha
Very nice.
Panavanasa Gomukha Sahasaivabhya Anyata Sabdastumulo
Tumulo bhavat. Tumulo. So tumulo, tumultus. If you see the English word tumultus has Sanskrit origins. Tumulo is the word here. Tumulo is tumultuous. It becomes very, very loud. Why? Because everybody is started to blow the conch shells. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji, read the translation.
After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous.
Yes. Yeah. So now everybody is starting to blow. You can imagine the war zone there in your mind's eye. Everybody is now ready to fight. All this is everybody is like full of josh. Yeah, fully ready in all of that. Even on the Pandava side, everybody is starting to blow their conches. Everybody is ready to start the fight. Let's see what happens on the Pandava side. Interesting names will come from this. You see now Krishna's entry here in this particular verse, 14th verse. Let's read this one. Yeah, Krishna Priya can read this one.
Madhava Pandavastravavi Divyo Shankham Pradhatum.
Okay, okay. I think the sound was okay. No problem. Go ahead. Okay, I'll read the translation.
Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells.
Conch shells. Yeah. So now comes Lord Krishna here, first entry into the Bhagavad Gita discussions. Clear name of Lord Krishna. Interestingly, what is the name of Lord Krishna mentioned here? Can anybody find out?
Madhav.
Madhava, very nice. Madhava is the name mentioned. Madhava as the husband of the goddess of fortune. That is how Madhava is understood. And here Srila Prabhupada mentions that in the synonyms also. Madhava, Krishna, the husband of the goddess of fortune. Here again now comes this, actually this comes the first sign. The real sign of victory. Now that Krishna is there on the side, along with whom? Pandavaha. Who is Pandavaha? Pandava is Arjuna, the son of Pandu. Yeah. So those two names that now you'll see different names of Lord Krishna coming up, and you can make a note of these names. First name that is mentioned here is Madhav, Lord Krishna as Madhava. Yeah, and both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, what did they do? They stationed on their great chariot, drawn by how sounded their transcendental conch shell. So they've also started to blow their conch shells. So interestingly, Srila Prabhupada tries to make out of the words and tries to help us understand this. He says these Shankha, the Shankha are what? Divya. Divya means Divya. They are transcendental. Whereas the Shankha on the other side were not mentioned with this adjective. The Srila Prabhupada, he makes this point saying that these were transcendental conch shells. All of these conch shells were described as transcendental, meaning they were very much more powerful. And he makes this point, the sounding of the transcendental conch shells indicated that there was no hope of victory for the other side because Krishna was on the side of the Pandavas. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana. Wherever Krishna is there, that side is always victorious. That is how our acharyas describe. So therefore, it looks like this was the beginning of the most important aspect, the signs of victory for the Pandavas. There are other signs of victory which Srila Prabhupada mentions. Let's read those. Krishna Priya can read from here, therefore.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Therefore, victory and fortune were awaiting Arjuna, as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conch shell of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated had been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna. And this indicated that this chariot was capable of conquering all sides, wherever it was drawn over the three worlds.
So now comes one more sign of victory as mentioned, that the chariot given by Agni, which was a all-conquering chariot. Whoever sits on this chariot and goes to fight, that side will win. That is how that particular chariot was. So chariot drawn by whom? By Lord Krishna, chariot given by Agni, and therefore so much of more power to, and of course the conch shell being transcendental. So all of these are additional signs of victory towards the side of the Pandavas. Interesting names comes for the conch shells themselves. Let's read those names of these conch shells. Somebody else wants to try? Bipin Prabhuji, you want to try?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Pankajam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Paundram Dadamayo Mahashankham Bhimakarma Krukodara.
Very nice, thank you. Yeah, so different names now being given. So make a note of these. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji, translation.
Lord Krishna, below his council called Pankajaya,
Panchajanya.
Panchajanya. Arjuna below is the Devadatta, and Bhima the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks. Below his terrific counsels called Poundra.
Poundra. So three names of the conchals. Lord Krishna's conchal is called Panchajanya. Arjuna's conchal is called Devadatta. Bhima's conchal is called Poundra. And Bhima is described interestingly here as Vrukodara. Vruko means fox. Fox as in that whatever, how much ever he eats, his tummy doesn't become full. It becomes like it's always lean. Vruko. Udara means tummy. Vruko is like a fox. So he is like a voracious eater. He can eat as much as he wants. That's the description here mentioned. Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks. That is how he is described. So it shows the strength of the Pandavas on this particular side. Here we can see Srila Prabhupada discussing about different names of Krishna. So first is called Madhava. Here is called Rishikesha. That's the name given by Krishna. Name of Krishna here, second name coming up as Rishikesha. Please make a note of all of these names as they come across the entire Bhagavad Gita. It's a nice compilation of all the names of Lord Krishna. So here is called Rishikesha. Previously is called Madhava. And Srila Prabhupada gives an additional information in this particular aspect. Yeah. So let's read from here. Here on battlefield. Bipin Prabhu, can you read from here?
Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental senses of Arjuna, and thus his particular name of Rishikesa. The Lord has different names according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudana because he killed the demon of the name Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. His name is Vasudeva because he appeared as the son of Vasudeva.
Vasudev. His name is Vasudev.
Vasudeva. His name is Devaki Nandana because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashoda Nandana because he awarded his childhood pastimes to Yashoda at Vrindavana. His name is Partha Sarthi because he worked as the charioteer of his friend Arjuna. Similarly, his name is Rishikesha because he gave direction to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra.
Interesting, right? So as to why he is called Rishikesha or why he is called Madhava in the previous verse. So every name suggests a different type of activity or context in that particular setup. Yeah. So many times this one will come that a specific name is given to Arjuna or specific name is given to Krishna because there is a context added to that name to that in part of the overall shloka. So in the previous verse called Madhava, why? Because he wants to indicate he is the husband of the goddess of fortune, and this is a sign of victory for the Pandavas. So that's why Sanjaya is telling he's called Madhava. He's calling him Madhava. Here he's calling him Rishikesha. Why? Because he's directing Arjuna in a different way. And of course, there are so many different names of Krishna that come in. That's what we read. He's called he's called Vasudev, son of Vasudev. Va and Va. Yeah, or it's called Madhusudana because he kills the demon Madhu. And in fact, we will see further also he's called Madhusudana because in Arjuna's mind, a lot of doubt has come, and doubt is behaving like a demon. And therefore, he calls Krishna, "Oh Madhusudana, help me conquer this doubt." Like that. So that is the context setting that happens even in the names of Krishna and Arjuna. That's what we'll have to take note. Yeah, of course, the Arjuna is also referred as Dhananjaya or Bhima as Vrukodara. Why? Because they are really powerful personalities. Arjuna is called Dhananjaya because he can acquire a lot of wealth or has acquired a lot of wealth in various battles that he has done. So this is what we saw, 14th verse, Krishna's entry into the Bhagavad Gita. And how has he entered? By blowing his conch. Conch name, Panchajanya, you can see. Devadatta also here. Bhima is not drawn, but he is also there. So different names of verses or names of the conch shells. Let's look at quickly some of the other verses which also discuss about this particular aspect. The long verse here, this one, somebody wants to try the long verse? Yeah, look, Palika Mataji, you want to try?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
अनन्तव विजयं राजा कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलसहदेवश्च सुघोषो मणिपुष्पकौ काश्यश्च परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः. It's not going down.
Yeah, sorry.
Drishtadumno Viratascha Satyakish Chaparajitah Drupado no Kashyascha
No, this one.
Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvash Prithivipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahu Shankhan Dadmuthu Prathak.
Very nice. Yeah, very nice, Mataji. Thank you. Okay, let's read the long translation. Go ahead.
Translation by Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadev blew the Sughosha and Mani Pushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikandi, Drishtadumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells.
So now conch shell on the Kaurava side was done only by Bhishma, but on this side, suddenly everybody was like, with full of their conch shells. What are their names? Yudhishthira blows his conch shell, the name called Ananta Vijaya. And Nakula and Sahadeva, their conch shells are called Sughosha and Mani Pushpaka. Yeah, and of course all others warriors that we can see a few more warriors now here mentioned. They also blew their conch shells. So the entire sound, you can imagine the entire place was just blowing with conch shells. Everybody's drums are there, conch shells are blowing, and everybody is like all ready to fight. Yeah. So here basically Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport also. Yeah, we can see here different conch shells. Verse 14 mentions about all of this. Arjuna and Bhima, Yudhishthira, the 5 Pandavas, and their 5 nice table is here mentioned. Krishna is as Panchajanya, Arjuna is Devadatta, Bhima is Poundra, Yudhishthira is Ananta Vijaya, Nakula, Shugosha, and Sahadev as Mani Pushpaka. Yeah, so all of these are transcendental conch shells. That's an important point that is mentioned. So the point also is that we can see at this in the next verse that when he hears all of this sound, Duryodhana's heart shatters. He becomes a bit more scared. Let's read that particular verse here. Come on. Just a minute. I think it's stuck. Yeah. Okay, let's look at 19th verse. Yeah, somebody else. Tanya Mataji, you want to try? Hare Krishna. No? Kiran? Yeah, Tanya Mataji, go ahead.
सकोशोऽधार्तराष्ट्राणां हृदयानि व्यधारयत् नभश्च प्रीतिं चैव तुमलोऽभ्युन्नादयम्.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you. Okay, so let's read the translation. Go ahead.
Translation: The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra.
It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So that's how can be seen, because they're now, oh my God, scared. Oh my God, so many people there on that side, so powerful is what their sound that they are making. From that itself, Duryodhana was actually a bit scared. That's what here Srila Prabhupada mentions. When Bhishma and others on the side of Duryodhana blew the respective conch shells, there was no heartbreaking on the side of the Pandavas. At least Sanjaya didn't see that. But when on the Pandava side, when they started blowing their conches, it shattered the sound vibration, because it was a transcendental conch. Sound vibration just blew up the confidence of the Pandavas, and it shattered the hearts of the Kauravas. That is how it is mentioned. Okay, not here. Yeah, different verses. It became so uproarious that it shattered the hearts of Dhritarashtra. Everybody got so scared. That's what is one more sign of victory here. That's what it mentions. Kaurava's heart shattered due to fear and no shelter of the Lord. These are signs of defeat. Typically, what happens when you are scared, you take to the shelter of the Lord. You go to do some prayers. But here, who can they pray to? Yeah, Krishna is on the side of the Pandavas. So therefore, all the Kauravas, they were very much scared. They got that one more sign of defeat. It looked like as if it was going to happen. Their defeat was looking like was going to happen. Okay, let's look at a couple of more shlokas to complete this section. Some more sign of victory now. You have to make note of these additional signs of victory. Somebody else can try. Kiran Mataji, you want to try?
Yes. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
My pronunciation will not be
No
that
problem.
great.
No problem. We'll hurt. Yeah.
Okay. Atha vyavasthitan drastava
Drishtva.
drastava.
So the A, if there's a dash over it, becomes A.
Okay.
Yeah. Atha vyavasthitan drishtva.
Atha vyavasthitan drastava dhartarashtran kapi dhvaja.
Very nice.
Parvatra Sastra Sampate Dhanur Udyamya Pandavah Rishi Kesam Tada Vakyam Idamaha Mahipate.
Mahipate. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Yes. Translation.
At the time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
So now this entire place is now blowing with now noise and sound, and everybody's ready to start the fight. What is Arjuna is doing? He's taken his Gandiva, he's taken his bow, and he is now ready to put an arrow and start the fight. But just before he starts the fight, he talks to Arjuna, he talks to Lord Krishna something. And let's see what that something was. But before that, there are some more signs of victory here. Can you look at the translation? Can all of you look at the translation and tell us what additional sign of victory can you see here?
Flag marked with Hanuman sign.
Flag marked with Hanuman. Very nice. Kapidhwaja. So this word Kapidhwaja is very nice here. Dharta Rashtran Kapidhwaja. Kapidhwaja means one who is on whose flag the Hanuman is there. So Hanuman always, wherever Hanuman is there, it's mark of strength. So that becomes one more sign of victory for the Pandavas. That one that the flag, which is every phalanx will have a flag there, and this flag, Arjuna's flag, was that with Hanuman. So the emblem of Hanuman, Srila Prabhupada makes this point. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory, because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and he emerged victorious. Now both, interestingly, Krishna is also Rama. Krishna's Rama's form. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot to help him. So that combination of both of them also becomes a very, very important sign of victory. So like this, so you can see so many signs of victory being described in this particular verse of this Arjuna. So you can see Kapidhwaja, and here of course it is shown a bit more dramatically. That on the flag, Hanuman is already there, and he is the one who is going to help the Pandavas towards victory. Rama is also there. Hanuman is also there. Obviously, there is already a history of their winning the battles. So this is a nice compilation of all the signs of victory. We can see Krishna's presence on the side of the Pandavas, goddess of fortune. Venue is Kurukshetra, holy place. Hanumanji on the flag of Arjuna. Then symbol of Vishnu, conch shell is a symbol of Vishnu, Shankha Chakra Padma Gada. Yeah, so the conch shells themselves also indicate sign of victory for the Pandavas. Yeah, then transcendental conch shell we discussed today. Bhishma's conch shell, which was very strong, but it only helped to pacify Duryodhana. So Duryodhana already being scared is a sign of victory there. Agni Deva's chariot given to Arjuna. Yeah, and the shattering of the hearts when everybody is making the blowing the conch shell. These so 9 signs of victory. That's what we've seen here in the overall setup. We've seen preparation of war, yeah, and we've seen the signs of victory of the Pandavas. So that's where we are in this particular journey. Okay, great. Any quick questions or thoughts or comments at this point of time? Yes, Pawan Prabhuji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I've got some couple of questions. Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Related to that only. So, Prabhuji, I heard in Bhagavatam that Gauna Artha, there is secondary meaning one should try to get, but is this mental speculation or not? So, for example,
No, hold on.
this
Gauna Manta is mental speculation if it is done by somebody who's unqualified. So you and me, if we are trying to do interpretation, then that is problematic. But somebody who is an acharya and the acharya is explaining the deeper meaning, then that is not interpretation. Yeah, because the acharya is qualified to go to that particular level. Yeah.
For example, I don't know, when I do some service, I get this thought. So can I share one of the thoughts? I feel that Duryodhana is getting hope only from devotee.
Sorry, Duryodhana is?
getting hope of existence in material world, that also given by Bhishma, who is devotee only. So I feel
Okay.
like devotees are giving the hope for even for materialists. Is it a good thought?
Yeah, it's a good thought, no? Because why should a jiva suffer in the material world? He should be made devotee, and he should be shown that this material world is problematic, and he should be shown the path quickly as possible. So Bhishma is basically has tried to attempt, but he's not understanding. So he's now trying to preach in a different way.
While
Isn't it?
hearing you, I got this why Bhishma blowed the conch shell. Can I say something? Like I got this idea just now. Because Duryodhana is talking a lot. Let the Lord start his pastime. So start the game, start the seva.
Nice point. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, okay. Let's
Means I heard
enough
like the
talking.
seva should
Let's start.
seva should
Let's start the
Yeah,
war. Yeah. Enough talking. Let's start the war. So therefore, he
yeah.
blows his conch shell. Very nice. Yes. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is one.
Aruna
I think
Mataji
the
had a
next
point.
thing.
Sorry, you had more question. Okay, hold on. Yeah, hold on, Aruna Mataji. Go ahead, Pawan.
Really like this scholarly way of reading. Is it really pleases Krishna? Like I don't know, because when I see Prabhupada, he explains the answers for the devotees. He quotes the slokas like the Sanskrit, but never quotes the numbers. So is like quoting the numbers is like little more scholarly than devotional. Like, can you explain on that?
Yeah,
Like,
but
I see that's he mentioned to
so
become a
there are two
lawyer also.
aspects. No, there are two aspects. One aspect is whether you are sitting and doing japa, and there you are wanting to do full devotional focus. There you don't need these scholarly things or whatever. But when you are discussing, when you are trying to convince somebody, like you said, you mentioned the word lawyer. When a lawyer is trying to convince somebody, then at that point of time, that conviction is more powerful if a proper reference is given. Yeah. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada in many cases does not give reference. He just gives the shloka part. But in many cases, he gives a specific reference because he wants to prove a point there. Yeah. So it's again contextual. Again, from when you read Srila Prabhupada's books, you will understand that at some point Srila Prabhupada gives context, gives reference, sometimes he doesn't, because he clearly understands what is the importance there. Yeah. So in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada gives a lot of reference numbers and all of that to make it scholarly. Because to begin with, he appeals to the intelligent side of all of us, and then slowly he converts it towards. Once we are convinced, he converts it towards bhakti, basically.
Can I ask more, or should I give other later, please?
Yeah. Aruna Mataji can ask. Yeah, go ahead. Aruna Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I was just thinking, I don't have a question. I just got a thought that Duryodhana was in his, way. He's in his mode, and he missed about Lord Krishna. He was talking about everyone from verse
But he
number
was trying to avoid Lord Krishna.
1.2 to 1.11. He was talking about every one of the Pandavas team, and he
Very
missed that Lord Krishna is with them. And if he is with them, then for sure they'll win. But
Very
he
nice.
thought that Lord Krishna is some ordinary man. He is a charioteer of
Correct. Very
Arjuna.
nice.
So
Very nice realization. Actually, he thinks, oh, Krishna is not going to fight. He's just going to do the chariot driving. Yeah. So
yeah,
he is not important to be mentioned, is what he thought.
yeah. And then grand
A very good
entry is
observation.
happening of Lord Krishna in 1.14 verse.
Very nice observation. Very nice observation. Duryodhana totally is making all the names of the warriors, but he forgets the biggest warrior of their all. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is there sitting. Very nice.
And
Very
also,
nice.
Prabhuji, he was thinking that he's the one who is, taking care of his army, and he's only one who is, taking all the decisions, going and talking with everybody, saying that you have to do this, do that. At the same time, we go and see the team of Pandus, where it was like it's a one team, one goal. Everyone has got their work, what they have to do. Like Drushtadumna was the main person over
Commander.
there. commander. So not only Arjuna was doing, but he has everybody got some task that they have to perform over there. So it's a
Yeah,
one
and
team.
actually, why is that? Why is that? Because again, Drishtadyumna has made that set. That's what Duryodhana makes a point, right? He says, look at the way in which your enemy's son, whom you only trained, how nicely he has arranged the formation. So
Yeah.
he is actually already, Duryodhana is acknowledging this particular aspect. That looks like they are very much nicely formed, only 7 Akshahunis, but still they are perfectly arranged. Whereas we are on our side is the 11 Akshahunis, but still there is a problem. And he's trying to therefore address everybody because he's seeing there might be, in fact, he already knows that, in fact, we all know that, right? That till the time Bhishma was the commander, Dronacharya does not enter the war, or the other way around. I remember, I don't remember. So which means already within the ranks of the Kauravas, there was a bit of a problem. And of
Yeah.
course, there were other warriors, and therefore Duryodhana had to tell everybody ki please all support Bhishma when he is fighting, because he's an old man and he's an old warrior now. He will need support, is what. So even he's thinking that Bhishma needing support itself is actually blasphemy. Why
Yeah,
would Bhishma
actually.
need support actually? But he's thinking, oh, he might need support. So yeah, you're right. You're right. But two good observations. The first observation I liked, that Krishna, as the greatest of all warriors, is not mentioned at all by Duryodhana. He's just totally overlooking him, which shows his the other demoniac mentality which Duryodhana has. Very nice.
Yes, yes. Okay, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other comments or thoughts? No? Okay, Pawan Prabhuji, you had some more question.
Yeah, yes, please. Guruji, next one I would like to ask is that here many functions and all this have been mentioned, right? So do we need to know about that, like Panchajanya is like a demon killed by Krishna?
No, not
Yeah.
only if when your children and grandchildren happen, you can name them with these conchal names. So these
And
are
the
good
next
names.
one,
Yeah.
Well, this Hanumanji is mentioned, right? So actually, I'm my father is very devotee of Hanuman, and I like Hanuman also. I was born Tuesday, so when I see Prabhupada, I remember Hanuman a lot. So can I share one
Nice.
point about the similarity
Yeah, go
about
ahead.
Hanuman and Prabhupada? Hanuman is Chiranjeevi not through Amrita, drinking nectar. He is Chiranjeevi because Lord's touch and that. Similarly, Prabhupada is also acting. He is also Chiranjeevi through his books,
Through
who
his books. Very
inspires.
nice. Amazing. Yeah.
I think I
Super.
got some 20 points on that, but I'll share some. This one. This is like one I want to share.
Very
Hanuman is
nice point.
very,
Very nice point.
and
Very
he's
nice point.
inspiration.
Srila
Hanuman is
Prabhupada is
inspiration
always
for all the Vandanas. So
very nice.
Srila Prabhupada is still he is the inspiration for anyone who is coming to the
For
movement.
all of us. Super. So very nice,
Thank you.
very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your realization. Hare Krishna. Okay, great. So if there are no further questions, I had kept 15 minutes for questions. But if there are no further questions, then we will close for the day today 10 minutes early. I will give back 10 minutes. Let's close with closing prayers like we do every time. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantraha Tasya Namani Yani, Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva, Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva, Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Hare Paramatmane, Pranatah Kleshanashaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कात्यायनी महामाये महायोगिन्यधीश्वरी नन्दगोपसुतं देवी पतिं मे कुरुते नमः श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम दासोऽहं कृष्ण तवास्मि श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम दासोऽहं कृष्ण तवास्मि श्रीकृष्णः शरणं मम दासोऽहं कृष्ण तवास्मि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रीमद् भगवद गीता पाठ की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।